The first time Liam saw his pregnant daughter-in-law working tables at a rundown café in Parramatta, she dropped a tray so hard the entire room went silent. Not because she was clumsy, because the moment she looked up and saw him standing there, she looked terrified. Rain hammered the café windows, while old rock music crackled through cheap ceiling speakers. Liam hadn't even planned to stop there. He'd been driving back from Blacktown after checking on one of his construction sites, when the storm rolled in, hard enough to blur the M4 into grey static. He ducked into the nearest place for coffee. Then he saw her, Emily, 7 months pregnant, wearing a stained black apron, carrying plates through a crowded cafe full of truckies and late-night gamblers. For a second, Liam genuinely thought he was hallucinating. His son Noah had told the family she was staying with relatives up in Brisbane while he sorted out some space issues in their marriage. That was 3 months ago. Since then, Noah barely answered calls. Every conversation ended quickly. Always distracted, always irritated. Now Liam understood why. Emily bent down shakily, collecting shattered plates with trembling hands. The cafe owner barked at her from behind the counter. "Forget the bloody dishes, Em. Table 6 is waiting." Liam moved before he even thought about it. "Leave her alone," he snapped. The owner looked up. "Who the hell are you? Someone telling you she shouldn't be carrying half this place while pregnant." Emily froze completely. Her face had gone pale, not embarrassed, scared. "Liam," she whispered. That whisper hit him harder than it should have, because it sounded like someone begging for help without saying the words. He crouched beside her, helping gather the broken ceramic pieces. Her wrist shifted under the sleeve of her jumper. Purple bruises, old ones. His stomach tightened instantly. Emily yanked her sleeve down fast, but too late. Liam stared at her. "What happened to your arm?" "I slipped." "You're a terrible liar." Her eyes flicked nervously toward the front windows, like she was expecting someone, or terrified someone might arrive. "I can explain," she said quietly. "Then explain why my son's pregnant wife is working double shifts in a place like this." The cafe owner muttered something under his breath and disappeared toward the kitchen. Emily swallowed hard. "You shouldn't be here." "That's not an answer." She looked exhausted, dark circles under her eyes, skin pale, hair tied back messily like she hadn't slept properly in weeks. Nothing about her looked okay. Liam suddenly remembered the last family barbecue at Conula Beach 6 months earlier. Emily laughing beside Noah, one hand resting over her stomach after announcing the pregnancy. Noah kissing her forehead while everyone cheered. It looked perfect. Now, Liam realized something terrifying. Maybe it had never been perfect at all. "Does Noah know you're here?" he asked. Emily laughed softly. "Not happy, broken. That's funny." The answer chilled him. A truck thundered past outside, spraying rainwater across the glass. Emily kept staring toward the road. Then Liam noticed it. A black Ford Ranger parked across the street, engine running, headlights off, watching the cafe. Emily saw him looking. Instant panic crossed her face. "We need to stop talking. Who's in that ute?" Her breathing quickened. "Please just leave, Emily. He'll see." Liam felt something cold settle into his chest. "He?" he repeated slowly. She looked down at the floor and said the one sentence Liam never imagined hearing in his entire life. "Your son found me 2 weeks ago." Every sound in the cafe seemed to disappear. Liam stared at her. "What are you talking about?" Emily's eyes filled instantly. He said, "If I ever tried taking the baby away from him again, nobody would find me next time." Liam stepped back like she'd physically hit him. "Noah would never. He smashed my phone against the wall while I was holding my stomach." Her voice cracked violently. "He locked me inside the apartment for 2 days because he thought I was cheating." Liam's pulse started roaring in his ears. "No. You want the truth," she whispered. "Your son hasn't been trying to save our marriage." She looked directly at him now. "He's been trying to control whether I survive it." Outside, headlights suddenly flashed on. The Black Ranger started moving, and Emily's face lost every bit of color. "Oh my God," she whispered. "He's here." Emily backed away from the window so fast she nearly crashed into another table. Liam turned as the Black Ranger rolled slowly across the rain-soaked street before stopping directly outside the cafe. Windscreen wipers dragged back and forth through the storm like slow knife strokes. The driver stayed inside, watching. Emily's breathing became shallow. "Don't let him see me with you." "What the hell's going on?" Liam demanded. "You need to go." "Not happening." She grabbed his arm suddenly, harder than he expected. "Listen to me carefully," she whispered. "If Noah thinks I told you anything, he'll lose it." Liam stared at her hand trembling against his sleeve. This wasn't panic. This was conditioning, the kind built over months, maybe years. The cafe owner emerged from the kitchen, carrying 2 plates. One look at Emily's face and he swore quietly. "He back again?" Liam looked at him sharply. "You know about this bloke?" The owner hesitated too long. That told Liam enough. "Mate," the owner muttered carefully. "Best not to get involved." Too late for that. The Ranger's driver door finally opened. Noah stepped out into the rain. Liam barely recognized his own son, 3-day stubble. Hollow eyes, black hoodie soaked by the storm. He looked thinner than usual, wired somehow, like a man sleeping 2 hours a night and surviving on caffeine and rage. But the thing that unsettled Liam most was the smile, calm, controlled. Like he already knew exactly how this conversation would go. Noah walked into the cafe dripping rainwater across the floor. A few customers glanced over before quickly looking away again. Emily instinctively stepped behind Liam. Noah noticed. His smile vanished instantly. "Dad." Liam folded his arms. "Care to explain why your wife's working here?" Noah's eyes flicked toward Emily. "We're handling our own business. She's pregnant." "And?" The answer hit like a slap. Liam studied him carefully now. Tiny details he'd missed before suddenly screamed at him. The twitching jaw, the restless eyes, the forced calm, barely holding something ugly underneath. "How long's this been going on?" Liam asked quietly. Noah gave a humorless laugh. "You always take her side. There aren't sides when your wife looks terrified of you." The cafe had gone dead silent. Emily whispered, "Please stop." But Noah was already staring at her. Cold, disappointed, dangerous. "You've been talking too much again." Liam stepped between them immediately. "Noah." "What did you tell him?" Noah asked, ignoring him. "Nothing. That's a lie." Emily's eyes watered instantly. "I said nothing." Noah moved closer. Liam blocked him with one arm. For a second, father and son stood chest to chest, beneath flickering fluorescent lights, while rain hammered outside. Then Noah smiled again. That fake calm smile. "She gets emotional," he said casually to Liam. "Pregnancy hormones. You know how women get." Emily flinched, tiny movement. But Liam saw it. And once he saw it, he couldn't unsee any of it anymore. The bruises, the fear, the survival instincts. Jesus Christ. "How many times have you hurt her?" Liam asked. Noah's expression darkened instantly. "You should leave." "That's not an answer. You don't know what she's done." Emily looked sick suddenly. Noah pointed at her without taking his eyes off Liam. "Ask her where she disappears every Thursday night." "What?" "She tells you I'm abusive, yet forgets to mention the secret phone." Emily shook her head violently. "Noah, stop." The burner phone hidden in her locker. Liam frowned, confused. Noah laughed quietly. "There it is, that look." He stared at Emily. "You really thought you could play victim forever?" Emily's face crumbled. And Liam suddenly realized something horrifying. Both of them were scared. Not just her. Noah reached into his hoodie pocket and pulled out a small smashed mobile phone wrapped in plastic. "I found this yesterday." Emily stopped breathing. "You wanna tell Dad who you've been calling?" "Noah." "You wanna tell him about Daniel?" Liam blinked. "Who the hell's Daniel?" Emily burst into tears. Noah tossed the broken phone onto a nearby table. "Go on." he said softly. Tell him. Liam looked between them, pulse hammering. Emily couldn't even speak. Then Noah delivered the sentence that shattered everything. Liam thought he understood. She's been planning to disappear after the baby's born. Liam stared at Emily. She was going to take my son and run off with another man. Emily suddenly shouted, louder than Liam had ever heard her voice. Because you said you'd kill him. Silence. Complete silence. Noah's expression froze. Too late. The truth was already hanging there. Breathing. Liam slowly turned toward his son. And for the very first time in his life, he became afraid of him. Noah didn't deny it. That was the part Liam remembered later. Not the shouting. Not the storm outside. Not Emily crying beside the counter. It was the silence. His son just stood there staring back at him while rainwater dripped from his hoodie onto the cafe floor. Then Noah sighed softly, almost annoyed. You don't understand the full story. Liam felt physically sick. You threatened to kill someone? He was sleeping with my wife. I wasn't. Emily shot back instantly. Noah laughed under his breath. Still lying. Emily wiped tears from her face, trying desperately to steady her breathing. Daniel's my cousin. The words landed heavily. Noah's jaw tightened. Liam looked between them. Your cousin? He lives in Newcastle, Emily said quickly. I called him because I needed somewhere safe to go. You needed somewhere to hide me from my own child, Noah snapped. You punched a hole through the nursery wall. A few customers immediately stood up and quietly left the cafe. Nobody wanted to stay near this kind of tension. Liam certainly didn't either. But he couldn't move. His entire world felt like it was cracking open in real time. Noah had never been violent growing up. Never even had school fights. Quiet kid. Smart. Reserved. Liam suddenly found himself replaying old memories differently. Noah isolating himself after football matches. Sudden mood swings as a teenager. The way he hated Emily spending time with friends after they got married. Signs. Maybe the signs had always been there. Maybe Liam just never wanted to see them. She lies constantly, Noah said calmly now. Too calmly. That's the problem. Everyone thinks she's innocent. Emily stared at him in disbelief. You followed me to medical appointments because you kept disappearing. You put cameras inside the apartment. Liam turned sharply. You what? Noah rubbed his face. For security. Emily laughed bitterly through tears. You tracked my phone, Noah. You gave me reasons not to trust you. Liam finally snapped. What reasons? The cafe fell silent again. Noah hesitated. Just 1 second. But it was enough, because guilty people hesitate when the truth gets close. Emily looked at Liam carefully now. He won't tell you. Tell me what? Her voice became smaller. 3 months ago. I lost the baby once already. Liam's chest tightened instantly. What? We were at Westmead Hospital. Tears streamed down her face again. There was bleeding. The doctors managed to stop it. Liam stared at her, stunned. Noah had never mentioned any hospital visit. Never mentioned complications. Nothing. Then Emily whispered the sentence that changed everything. The doctors asked Noah to leave the room for a minute. Noah looked away immediately. Emily saw Liam notice. When he walked out, she continued shakily. The nurse asked me if I felt safe at home. Liam's blood went cold. She could see the bruises. Noah suddenly slammed his hand onto the table hard enough to make cups jump. Stop talking. Everyone flinched, including Emily. That flinch destroyed whatever denial Liam still had left. Jesus Christ, Noah realized it too, because the anger vanished from his face instantly, replaced by regret. He said quietly. I didn't mean. Emily backed away from him, terrified, and something inside Liam finally broke. He shoved Noah backward hard. You don't get to scare her anymore. Noah stumbled into a chair, shocked. For a moment he looked less dangerous and more like a lost boy. Hurt flashed across his face, then came rage, pure rage. You think she's telling you everything? Noah shouted. I think you need help. She destroyed my life. Emily shook her head, violently. Noah, please. You think I'm the villain, he snapped at Liam. Ask her what happened before Brisbane. Liam frowned. What happened? Emily went pale again. Noah pointed at her with shaking hands. She was driving the night we lost the first baby. The room spun for Liam. What? Emily started crying harder. Noah laughed bitterly, eyes glassy now. Yeah, funny how she skipped that part. It was an accident, Emily whispered. She was texting him while driving. That's not true. Noah stepped closer again, voice cracking with emotion. You killed our son before he even got a chance to breathe. Emily collapsed into tears completely, and Liam suddenly realized this wasn't just abuse. This was grief, twisted into obsession. Then Noah pulled something from his pocket, a small ultrasound photo, folded, damaged, carried everywhere. I see him every night, Noah whispered. The pain in his voice sounded terrifyingly real. Then he looked at Emily with hollow eyes. And if I can't have my family? He stopped speaking, but he didn't need to finish the sentence, because this time, even Liam knew exactly what he meant. Liam moved fast the second he saw Noah's expression change. Not anger, not sadness. Something worse, acceptance. Like a man who'd already decided how the story ended. Noah, Liam said carefully, stepping forward, give me the photo. Noah stared at the ultrasound in his shaking hand. Rain battered the windows harder now, thunder rolling somewhere over Parramatta Road. The cafe owner quietly reached for the phone behind the counter. Noah noticed immediately. Don't, he warned. The owner froze. Emily's voice trembled. Please, just let me go. Noah looked at her like she'd stabbed him. You already left. You scared me. I loved you. You controlled me. His breathing became uneven. Liam recognized it suddenly. The same spiral his younger brother used to fall into before drunken fights years ago. Tunnel vision. Emotional flooding. That dangerous point where reason stopped mattering. Noah, Liam said firmly, listen to my voice. But Noah wasn't listening anymore. He kept staring at Emily. I gave you everything. You isolated me from everyone. You were carrying my child. You made me feel like a prisoner. The words exploded out of her, and for the first time since Liam arrived, Emily looked angry instead of afraid. Years of pressure finally cracking open. You checked my messages while I slept, she shouted. You screamed at me for talking to waiters. You accused me of cheating if I left the apartment for groceries. Noah's face twisted. Because you lied. I lied because I was scared of you. Silence slammed through the cafe again. Even Noah looked hit by that one. Emily wiped tears furiously from her face, voice shaking uncontrollably now. You want the truth? I kept hoping you'd become the man you used to be. Noah's eyes watered instantly. Liam saw it happen. For one brief second, his son looked human again, broken, ashamed. Then Emily whispered the sentence that destroyed him. But that man disappeared a long time ago. Noah inhaled sharply like he'd been punched, and suddenly he turned toward the exit. Liam moved instantly. Where are you going? Noah ignored him. He pushed through the cafe doors into the storm. Emily panicked immediately. He's going to the ute. Liam sprinted after him. Cold rain slammed into his face as he crossed the footpath. Noah reached the Ranger and yanked open the driver's door. No, too late. His son grabbed something from beneath the seat. Liam's heart nearly stopped. A hunting knife, long blade, silver flashes under streetlights. Noah, Liam said slowly, holding both hands up. Don't do this. Noah looked shattered standing there in the rain, tears mixed with storm water down his face. I can't lose another family, you already are. No, Noah whispered. She's making that choice. Emily appeared in the cafe doorway behind them. Noah. The moment he heard her voice, he turned toward her, knife still in hand. Liam reacted instantly, grabbing his son hard around the shoulders. The knife clattered onto wet asphalt. Noah exploded. Years of rage came pouring out at once. He shoved Liam backward violently. Liam slipped on the soaked road and crashed hard against the Ranger's bonnet. Pain shot through his ribs. Noah stared at what he'd done in horror. Dad. But then sirens echoed faintly nearby. Someone had called police. Noah heard them too. Panic flooded his face. Emily stepped forward crying, "Please don't run." But Noah already looked gone. Mentally, somewhere else entirely. Then he said something so quiet Liam almost missed it. "She never told you why I checked her phone." Emily froze. Noah laughed weakly through tears. "Tell him, Em." She looked terrified again. Liam pushed himself upright painfully. "Tell me what?" Emily couldn't speak. Noah nodded slowly, devastated by her silence. "There it is." "Don't," Emily whispered. "You think I became crazy for nothing?" His voice cracked violently now. "Tell him about the messages." Liam frowned. "What messages?" Noah looked directly at his father. "The baby she lost." His eyes shifted toward Emily. "Wasn't mine." Everything stopped: the rain, the sirens, the breathing. Lamb turned slowly toward Emily. Her silence confirmed it before words ever could. Noah smiled sadly. "Completely broken now. That's when I lost my mind." Police lights suddenly flooded the street blue and red, and Noah stepped backward into the darkness beside the ranger before anyone could reach him. Then he ran. Police found Noah 3 days later in a cheap motel outside Newcastle, alone, half drunk, still carrying the ultrasound photo in his wallet. By then, the story had already torn through both families like a cyclone. Emily moved into a women's shelter near Penrith under temporary protection orders. Liam spent 2 sleepless nights answering police questions he never imagined hearing about his own son. Assault, coercive control, intimidation, threats. Every word felt unreal. The hardest part wasn't Noah running. It was discovering how long the damage had existed before anyone noticed, or before anyone wanted to notice. Liam sat outside Westmead Hospital the morning after police caught Noah, staring at untouched coffee while traffic crawled through wet Sydney streets. He hadn't slept properly since the café. Every memory of Noah now felt poisoned. Birthdays, football games, family holidays down the south coast. How could a father miss something this big? Emily eventually found him there. She looked exhausted, smaller somehow, but calmer than before. The silence between them stretched painfully. Then Liam asked the question he'd been avoiding. "The baby." Emily looked down immediately. He wasn't Noah's. Hearing it out loud still hurt. Not because Liam cared about blood, because of what it had turned everyone into. He asked quietly. Emily nodded once. Liam closed his eyes. "When did Noah find out?" "After the miscarriage." Her voice nearly disappeared, saying the word miscarriage. Not accident anymore, not complication. A death with fingerprints all over it. Emily sat beside him carefully, one hand over her stomach. "The baby died instantly in the crash," she whispered. "The doctors told us before sunrise." Liam swallowed hard. "And Noah blamed you." "He blamed himself first." That surprised him. Emily stared toward the hospital entrance, lost somewhere deep in memory. "He cried harder than I did that night." Liam said nothing. Then he found the messages a week later. Everything changed after that. Emily explained it slowly. Noah had become obsessed with timelines, dates, lies. He checked phones constantly, installed tracking apps, read her emails, questioned every hour she spent away from him. Sometimes he apologized afterward, crying and promising therapy. Other times he punched walls until his knuckles split open. "He kept saying the same thing," she whispered. "What?" "That everyone eventually betrays you." Liam felt sick again. Because Noah learned that sentence from him. 20 years earlier, Liam's own wife had cheated before walking out on the family. Noah was only 12. Liam spent years bitter, angry, suspicious of everyone afterward. Maybe he never taught his son how to heal properly. Maybe he only taught him how to bleed. "What happens now?" Liam asked quietly. Emily looked down at her stomach. "I still don't know if I'm keeping the baby." The sentence crushed him unexpectedly. Not because the child wasn't Noah's, because this unborn kid had already inherited a war before even entering the world. 2 weeks later, Noah accepted a plea deal. No prison time, mandatory psychiatric treatment, restraining orders, court supervision. The judge called him a deeply damaged man carrying unresolved trauma and dangerous emotional instability. Liam attended every hearing. Noah barely looked at him once, until the final day. As officers escorted him from the courtroom, Noah suddenly stopped and turned back toward his father. His eyes looked empty now, not angry, just hollow. "You know what the worst part is?" Noah asked quietly. Liam couldn't answer. Noah smiled faintly. "I still loved her after all of it." Then he walked away. 6 months passed. Summer arrived over Sydney, hot and brutal. Life moved forward the way it always does, even when people don't want it to. Emily gave birth to a little boy in late January, healthy, dark-haired, tiny lungs screaming through the maternity ward at Royal Prince Alfred Hospital. Liam visited 3 days later carrying a small stuffed kangaroo he'd bought from the hospital gift shop downstairs. Emily looked terrified when he entered at first. Then she saw the toy and softened. "You didn't have to come." "Yeah," Liam said quietly. "I did." He sat beside the hospital crib, staring down at the baby for a long moment. The child yawned softly in his sleep, completely innocent, completely unaware of the wreckage waiting outside the hospital walls. Emily finally broke the silence. "You can hold him if you want." Liam carefully lifted the boy into his arms. The weight felt impossibly small, fragile, human. And suddenly Liam understood something that would haunt him for the rest of his life. Monsters rarely appear from nowhere. Sometimes they are built slowly, inside ordinary homes, by ordinary pain, while everyone else keeps pretending not to see it.